What would you say if I said we need to work with the seasonal energy shifts? Now, that might sound a little bit strange, but you might have noticed that things are changing a bit as we're coming to the end of August. And I'd like to talk about why your body knows that September is coming before your mind does. I was talking with a friend, and she was in the throes of getting ready for back to school, and I was thinking, it's August. And she said, yes, it's August, and school starts in 2 weeks. And it just really floored me, because if school's starting, the first thing that comes to my mind is, where did the summer go? It feels like it just went in a flash. And if you've been feeling like August is slipping away before you're ready, like there's this invisible countdown happening that you can't quite name, you're not imagining it. Your nervous system has been preparing for September for weeks now. And I'm going to show you exactly why this happens and 3 simple ways to work with it instead of feeling overwhelmed and swept away by it. So, why do we feel these shifts? And some people might say it's from flipping in a calendar and paying attention that way. But I think it's more than that, because your nervous system constantly scans the environment, not just for danger, but for patterns and changes. And that's how we survive. Our nervous system notices things like tiny changes in the daylight hours and collective energy shifts as people talk about back to school. And I found even those of us who don't have small children, we still get swept up a little bit in that whole back to school mentality. Because the cultural transitions and rhythms signal our changes and signal us moving from one season to the next, signal the going forward in the year. So, yeah, even when we're not with children, our body still picks up on this signal to, it's time to get serious, it's a fresh start, and it's a busy season ahead. Your body picks up on it. Your energy picks up on it. So what does this look like for you? What might you be experiencing? And there's some things that are similar for all of us and some things that are different. So do a little check mark in your head. What does it look like for you? Does it feel like time is speeding up? Or maybe you have an urge to make the most of these last summer weeks, the last 99s, the last trips to the beach, the last times to lie in. Or maybe you have something like an underlying restlessness or low-level anxiety about autumn approaching. This might mean that your sleep or your appetite is changing a bit. Or maybe you just feel scattered, like you should be more organized. I think most of us would like to be more organized. Some people are very organized. But all of these things, and whichever ones that you align with, they're totally normal. Your system is trying to help you transition smoothly. So now that we know this, great, everything's changing and we're struggling and we're having new experiences. How do we work with these shifts to improve our days and improve our experience. Because if we can work with the feelings instead of fighting them, it can make such a difference. So here's 3 simple practices. Those of you who have followed me for a while know that I'm often talking about grounding, coming back to center, easing yourself through transitions. And I've often mentioned the 22s and other holds to do that. But today, I'd like to highlight the 25s. And you're thinking, where are the 25s? They are the energy centers that are located at your sit bones, the bony points at the base of your pelvis when you're sitting. So basically under your bum. And it's not always comfortable to have your hands under your body. So if you want to put your hands on the sides of your hips, that will work amazingly well too. So just to rest your hands there. You might have to wiggle around to get comfortable a little bit. And then just breathe here for 3 to 5 minutes. If you only have a minute, do a minute. It'll still help. And what you'll probably notice as you settle in, you'll feel a bit more calm. Your shoulders can drop. And you'll feel the energy resetting to a better pattern. Because holding this particular space gently on your body helps to activate your body's deep grounding and energy rejuvenation. The catchphrase for this is quietly regenerating. And it's such a nice thing. I think it's one of the best ways to support yourself when you're feeling scattered or ungrounded. So here's the second tip. A transition breath. If you place one hand on your heart and the other hand on your belly, take a full breath in and imagine gathering in all of your summer energy. And as you breathe out, release, let go, and imagine growing roots from your feet down into the depths of the earth to anchor you. So if you're ever feeling that things are moving too fast, you can take 5 breaths and remember how things really are. And you don't have to breathe a certain way. Just be present with yourself. Notice how your body's feeling. Notice where your breath is landing. Connect with your heart. Is it racing? Take a moment to come back to yourself. And then for the third practice, honor both the summer energy and the autumn energy. Because the autumn is activated and summer is more relaxed. Although I know a lot of people who are so busy during the summer that they need to just wind down. So if you've been running, whether it's after the kids or just going on holidays and getting in wonderful experiences while the sun is shining. Honor the ease that you can have and the flow that can be there, and resource yourself for the coming autumn. You can do this in the morning or in the evening, or even if you have a moment where things are getting away from you during the day. Pick one of these 3 things and come back to yourself. What if, for just this week, you practice the sit bones, holding the 25s once a day? Maybe in the morning, if that suits you, or in the evening to ground after a busy day. And really pay attention. Notice what shifts for you. It can be mental, emotional, or physical. And these little changes are cumulative, and it can make such a difference. Little things like, does your sleep improve? Do you feel more centered, even if you're rushing around? And are you able to hang on to some of the wonderful summer ease? It's not going to happen like that, but if you keep showing up for yourself, you will notice a difference. And I'd like to tell you that the transitions are always wonderful, but they are challenging sometimes. At the same time, if we can frame them as opportunities to flow with change, to flow more easily through life, it can make a big difference. And if you resource yourself, you'll have more energy and more reserves to be able to meet the challenges that are coming up. So I'd love to hear how this lands for you. Drop a comment below. Let me know. Are you feeling the seasonal shift? What practices, the ones I've suggested and others, help you through these transitions? Now, if you found this helpful, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more gentle practices to support your well-being through all of life's seasons. I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself. Blessings.